is going to be a battle. I mean, pretty good sized rocks coming out of there. All right, so plan today, I got an auger to put an 8-inch, even though I have a 6-inch bit for the auger, it's gonna be try to get an 8-inch hole for the fence posts on that side. And then there's one more all the way over here, right there. So they're 20 feet apart total. It's hard to see it from there. Over there, about two 10-foot farm gates. 10% is 20. Pretty simple math. And then, so we're gonna try to get these posts put in today, see how this auger works. I'm afraid it's not gonna work great because of how much rock is in the ground, but it's probably gonna be a lot better than digging. So I need to get that assembled. So it's a 50-to-1 gas oil mixture, and I bought some, I forget the brand of it, but it's one of the big name brands that has that pre-mixed already, and I added it into a gallon of gasoline. Alright, so I took back the Harbor Freight that I couldn't get started, and then the spark plug wires got messed up. I ended up getting this. It's a larger diameter, 8-inch Ryobi battery powered. We'll see how it does. I'm a little worried it's not gonna get through the rock too well, but it's definitely gonna be better than hand digging. And I know it works. So this bit is 8 inches wide, and it says it's 32 inches in terms of length. Show you kind of what we're working with. It's hard to focus on that. It did a pretty good job of getting through everything. Hit a couple snags. We go in and out, and it works pretty dang good, I'd say. Move that over here. All right, just keep bearing this down. I might not be able to get the 36 inches I want. I think these wooden posts are going to work for now. Eventually, what I want to do is get metal posts filled with concrete in here, but that will probably be years down the road. We'll get this hole, and then we'll go over to the other one with the posts. This is going to be a battle. I mean, pretty good sized rocks coming out of there. Poured water down there. I don't know if you can see. I'm thinking it should drain okay. It's pretty soft down there, but we'll go drill the other hole and come back and see how it is. It's circling around, so I know it's going down. Maybe pouring water in there prior to putting a post and then putting concrete in there is not the best idea, but this is my first time ever doing this, so I am guaranteed to screw something up. And I will learn. If I do it again, I will do better. We're gonna do hole number 2. Hole number 1 is, if I get my finger in that spot right there, it should be about 24, actually 20 feet 4 inches apart, not 24 feet. Maybe I'll do it quick. And that's end to end, or side to side, the inside to inside. That's what I'm doing. So I put the posts in there. It's supposed to be 6-inch posts. Those are definitely 5 wide, or the diameter at the most. So I want to go from the edge of that to the edge of this. Should be, my math is correct, if we go 20 feet, which would be 240 inches plus 4 to give room for the little brackets that screw into the post, should be 244. So this is right on the edge of the driveway, which is the edge of this. That side shifted over a little bit. That's what I'm talking about. So this side, there's our hole. It's kind of off. If you see just the side of the garage, that's pretty much parallel right there. But you come over here, I thought I had measured this out, so you measure 10 times. But that's our hole. It's going more. Man, we're almost, we can't spread it out anymore, but I wish it was over. Everything was shifted like 6 inches and be perfectly centered. It's not going to be centered. There's no way. Just trying to make sure I get the measurements right with everything. I'll back this up so you can actually see. Measure 25 times. Well, so much for really enjoying the ease of that portion of drilling, or auguring. You get to fill in that hole and do it again. The issue is, got this hole, I mean, there's what, 3 inches separating the two? So this is probably going to end up collapsing. That would be my guess. Maybe not. You know, I expect when I get a bunch of 2x4s for them to be really crooked. I did not realize that these sticker posts are going to be all swervy McGurvy, but they are. So try to find one that's straighter than the rest. Let me get this end in first. So the plan is to get both of these level and then pour some concrete in there. Right now this one definitely just eyeballing it. Looks taller. I'm not going to worry about the tops of them, if I can follow my finger, being level right now because I'll end up cutting them. It's more just the posts, front to back, side to side. It looks fine. Look good. You're ready to learn how to pour concrete. All right, let's look close up. I just have the gates standing, nothing in, but I think that we'll have a good, gives me an idea of what it's going to look like. Kind of go to center. There'll be a little bit more of a space in there. Can make it work. Walk around to the other side. It'll look nice. Have to trim down the tops a little bit on each post. Not too much. We'll make them level, make them even. All right, now it's time to mix some concrete and get pouring. So I'm just going to follow the instructions in the bag, which say 1.9 liters per bag. This one dropped and broke open, so I lost a little bit. And 2 liters is approximately half a gallon of water, roughly. We'll see how this works. This is about 2.5 gallons, so we're just going to go slow. Alright, I think probably a little bit wetter than what I want, but it's good. Oh yeah, sure. I'm hoping that this will just take these last 2 bags and that's it. It turned out okay. We'll see when it dries. Some rocks around there. It's very level. It was a tiny bit out of whack, but it's acceptable in my book. Posts are set, let them harden for a few days, and then put the actual gates on. I almost wish I would have gone with 12-foot gates versus 10, but this will work out well, even though they're 9 feet 8 inches and not actually 10. They're already dry. I mean, I could give these a couple days. It's so hot here. Hold them up. I could probably take those braces off. And these, but yeah, it'll be nice once it's up. All right, so my thought is I'm gonna get a string, start on this back side, try to get down the center, run it over to that side, and then mark the lines kind of centered where I want the actual bolts to be drilled in, or whatever they're called. And then I'll get the gates out here and get the height and then drill those in. That's the plan. We'll see. So I have no idea if I'm doing this correctly, but you can see pencil line going down, centered on the poles as best as I could, level as well. Did the same thing on that one. I'm gonna bring the gates out, kind of try to stand them up, get the holes in the right position, and try to put this gate on without any big hiccups. So my thought is to start leveling it, have to create some sort of bracing to hold it, and then get this left side of the south side intact first. Don't have anything under there right now. It has almost no clearance. I might have to raise that other end up just another 1/2 inch. That way I know I have clearance here. Leaves a bit of a gap underneath, but I need this gate to be able to swing freely. Oh man, that's pretty much perfect in that plane. say, don't F up. Coffee. Take these down, drill some holes. Put them on. They're gonna be perfect. These look to be about a ½ inch. They're probably just over a ½ inch, but I don't want to go to 3/4. I think that will be too big. Good old Hercules, Harbor Freight. I have a knife in my pocket that I could cut this open with, but that would be way too easy to do. So I'd rather struggle and just slowly tear this out. Alright, gate is up. It's manual open and close right now. Eventually you'll get some gate openers, probably solar ones, make more sense here. We don't have to run power to it, but overall came together pretty good. There's a bit of a gap, or an off center, off level, I guess is probably the proper term, right here. So I mean, what do we have, about an inch of that left side being higher than the right as we're looking at it. I had to have that one up that high, otherwise it would not clear the ground on this side. And then I actually had them pretty level, and then I readjusted them because they were touching in the center, and it brought it up quite a bit more. I probably could go down like ½ an inch on that and still have enough clearance in the center. But either way, they still work well. Right now I just have it held shut with this cheap latch that it came with. Alright, I couldn't film everything today just because it's hot and my phone overheats in a few minutes, and so it's kind of annoying. So I just said I'd go over things after I finished what I was doing today. This is the gate that we put in, or I put in a few weeks ago. And today, just put in these four posts. There's going to be 16 altogether, 11 on this side, and then 5 going that way to the corner. There might be one short down on the corner. There is the electrical box. I don't know if I'll be able to put one in that corner or not. That's going to be pretty close to all of the power coming in, but we'll address that when the time comes. Either way, it's a pain to put these posts in. I have to use this auger, and there are a ton of rocks in there, but the holes end up being significantly larger than 8 inches because of the type of rock. As you bring dirt out, the rocks on the side just crumble and fall in. It's all this small rock through here that you can see. But overall, again, well, I'll have to run a line and then trim everything down to size, because these posts are in the ground 3 feet. These posts I only went down 2 feet. There's a lot more rock around here. Let's see, this post, have them level. They're starting to set in, so I ended up mixing some other rocks and dirt. Don't know if I should. It was very wet, but I probably didn't need to because it's over 100 degrees, so it can dry up pretty easy. But I mean, this is the rocks coming out of the hole. So there's a lot. It was a pain, a lot of hand digging. It took about 3 hours, a little over 3 hours to, let's say I started at 7. Yeah, closer to 4 hours to get this all done. Ended up doing 2 bags of concrete. But I mean, you can see these holes are significantly wider. This one, I was off, and I needed to have it farther forward, so I had to push it farther forward in the hole. It is what it is. If you look down, fairly even. This one might be a little bit off, and these posts also are not perfectly straight. But yeah, I have everything else marked out. I'll likely be doing another gate on that one, just a 10-foot, so half the size of the one. Back down here on this end. But I'll just keep tackling this, so I get a quarter of them done. I just taking my time, drink a lot of water. It's not horrible, but it is getting a little bit toasty. So back in the plan will be to put 3 boards connecting each of these 10-foot long boards in between. I'll run the metal that I have for the fence in there all along the whole front, and then I'll sandwich it with the boards. They're going to be, I think I'm going to do 2x6 by 2x6 by 12, just so I have extra. And and then cut them down. I just wanted to do just 1x6, but the 1x6s they seem to be more expensive, so I'll look into that a little bit more. All right, but that's what was done today. I wanted to show the process of at least one hole, maybe a couple. It's likely that my phone will overheat. I haven't been able to film because it's so hot. It's supposed to be 101 by 11. We're just after 6, so hoping I can get 4 of these done in the next 4 hours and get them set. We'll see though. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 marked out, so that would complete this, and I could even start rolling out the fence. Easiest hole I've done yet. Give a quick update on the fence. I didn't film the other day, or yesterday, when I put a lot of this up and tacked it down further on this end. It was, the phone tends to overheat, so I'm gonna see how long I can film today before it overheats on. It's supposed to be 108 out here today, 109. Should only take me a couple hours to kind of tack up this fence, but I wanted to show you what I was doing. You can kind of see, if you look all the way down there, I got all that fencing complete around the corner. I'll do a final kind of tour of it. It's just the actual metal fencing portion that's up. I will be putting kind of bracing 2x6s going across to each post. But for now, I'm gonna put in the staples. I'll give you a close-up of that. Real exciting. And then I'll do more of probably a time lapse from the other end after I do this first, get this first one situated. So this one was put in here just to kind of tack it to hold it so I could pull everything down yesterday, and I use this wood to really hold things in place a little bit. Nothing too exciting about it. I might only do two of these staples per post, just so I'm not short. I have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 posts, so 18 staples. I don't know if I had it. I mean, I guess I could count, would be easiest, but I'm just going to do 2 initially. After this, I'm going to do 3 on this one though. If I have enough staples, I'll come back and put the 3rd one in each. And then at the end here, I'll show you, there's about a 20-foot section with the T-posts that I need to cut from a roll. And that will finish off, will completely enclose the whole yard. Should be pretty good. So I'm going to sit at the end and just do this the whole way, try to keep it straight. These fences are always a little bit wavy. They're not meant to have tension pulled on them. They're the welded wire, but they will work for the purposes that I need them, or serve the purpose. I got the corner tacked down over here, and then there's the 2 T-posts. So from this one to the corner, and there's actually a little bit of extra coming off. Well, there's my finger. Okay, off the T-post and pull it that way. But I'm just gonna set this up here. You kind of see down the whole fence line. What is it, 187 feet that way, 227 feet that way. It'll be nice to have everything closed in. We'll likely at some point in the future run hardware cloth along the bottom to really make it tight, so difficult things to get in. It's just hardware cloth is expensive, and that's a lot if I want to do the whole property. It's quite a bit of work, but that's probably what will end up happening to try to prevent things from coming under. All right, now we'll measure this off and go cut it and put the last piece of fence on. Then we'll be sealed in. So 18 feet should be good. All right, we'll take that over. As has been the common theme throughout this whole video, my phone overheated, so I was unable to show me splicing in kind of this last, 18 feet of fencing. It's now a few months later, so I figured I'd give a quick tour and kind of show you where I splice it and kind of how the gate is working, so you have a better idea what's going on. And again, this is only phase one. There will be a second phase, kind of trying to make the fence look a little prettier. But stay tuned for that. Here's that last 18-foot section that I connected to my previous roll of fencing that I attached along all these T-posts that go down to the other end of my property. It's nothing fancy, nothing scientific about this. Just came through here and basically wrapped them around right there. This is the edge where the two of these overlap. I just hooked the ends here, kind of wrapped it around there, and did a similar sequence all the way down there. And then the same thing on this side here. Nothing too exciting. We'll walk on down here to the corner. That's where I had that other overlap. I had a little bit of excess, and the one fence you can see was taller that was coming around this corner. So I folded that down just to try to make it look a little bit even. Looks kind of goofy, but I like it better than having an extra, few inches sticking up there. That was just because there was a gap down here that I wanted to get rid of, and that was my solution, quick solution for it. Eventually I think I'll do hardware cloth around the whole bottom of the entire property, but that'll be a future project. All right, here at the gate, so the two sides of the gate's on the left, it will swing freely and kind of stop at the end. The other one I have to give a little bit of upward pressure to get it to go. I'll show you here. So I just have to, it will go, but it bumps, so I have to just kind of pull up slightly to get it to swing, but it's not too bad. Eventually I'll be putting wheels on there to make it open easier. Probably have to raise it a tiny bit, and then putting an electric opener. Here, I'll show you how this one just takes a good push. I'll stop. Everything seems to be holding well. I have yet to fill in these big holes. I'm just gonna drop another bag of concrete in there and just do a dry pour for most of these. And I didn't film this at all coming around, putting the fence down on this corner. But it's the same process, probably another 18 feet or so, where I spliced these two together, as you can see. But then that continues on all the way down around to the back of the property there. All right, that's it. Appreciate you taking the time to watch. If you appreciate it or you enjoyed any of the content, just like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. All right, thank you.